Welcome back everyone to my 4 Robot Party Challenge run of the Final Fantasy Legend 2. To make the challenge run a little bit easier, I've been doing some grinding here at these enemies. This is my 5th and final grind time. I'm just grinding down to 1 tank. I gotta save 1 use of a tank for an upcoming boss. We're going to fight Ichigoya. He's that corrupt merchant, and he's gonna have 9 Hamatodas over those gangsters who we met when we first came to the Edo World. So the tank will take care of them, and then Ichigoya, other robots, and Hana can take care of him. So as you can see, some of our robots have some extra hit points. Forlorn there, just used a laser. So yeah, I've been buying some equipment to boost up my other robots between the episodes here. The only one who really didn't get a lot of stuff added to him was PLNK, because Plank is, he's basically our strength robot. So he really isn't. I haven't really been buying strength items. I'll get more than enough strength items in the next dungeon, and especially in the next world. The next world is kind of an optional dungeon. You can go right in, grab the Magi, and then leave. But it's a great place to grind stats and to get a lot of good equipment, some of which you can only basically get there or through rare enemy drops. So definitely want to go through with it. Speaking of rare enemy drops, Ichigoya can drop the Abacus. It's the only way to get the Abacus in this game. That Honey Wasp contingency, you can actually get it a different way. But in the base game, you have to have Ichigoya drop it. It's not a very good weapon, so there's no point in, it's not like a game-breaking thing that you want to get it, You figure with such a kind of a rare drop, that would be a good weapon, but it's not. I don't think I've ever used it. I mean, I've seen the stats on it. Nothing to write home about. I don't think I've ever used it, because when I did get it, it was like, wow, it's so amazing. I'm just gonna keep it, as a trophy, show that I got it. I just had it hang out in my inventory. Alrighty, let's go fight Ichigoya. We head over here. Of course, I'm gonna run into a group full of a whole bunch of knights. Those are the real guys who really like to fight, because you saw how they can drop items. Got a few flame swords and ice shield, I think, from them that we sold. So we learned basically the whole point behind this world. Shogun is evil. He's gathering magi and keep the cops to build the money to search for the magi. Ichigoya is smuggling the bananas. Also, Ichigoya also keeps the cops, I guess, from investigating the Shogun. Although being the Shogun, I don't know how they would investigate him. The supreme law, I guess, of the land. So he didn't drop an abacus, but he dropped a PSI knife. It's good if you have a mutant. It helps raise mana. But even though Shogun is, I guess, technically above the law, he's not above the jurisdiction of the Guardians. And as I mentioned in the previous episode, Taro is a Guardian. So we tell him about Father, and Taro's like, I'm going to join you, and I'm going to do away with Shogun. So, if you still have that giant helmet from the last world, you can give it to Taro. He doesn't have a helmet, and the giant equipment is good because it gives him +10 to strength. And Taro is just a melee fighter. He has 2 weapons, a katana, which is kind of weak, but with his strength, he's pretty much good enough to defeat most things with that. And then his better sword is the Mirror Mass, which does critical damage to humans. So you get to see a little bit of what my characters have got. So even though PLNK is going to be a strength robot, I'm going to give him a laser, because that'll be for a future boss. All our characters to have a laser gun. Mainly what I bought was judo for Forloam and IG-88. Laser for every single robot. And then I bought some cat claws for IG-88 and Forloam. I didn't buy all of them because some of these items will get in the next dungeon, including a laser. That's one. I didn't buy a laser for MSE 6 because he's going to, like I said, get a free laser, and he already has a tank that he can use in the upcoming boss battle. Although he's mainly wants to use that Aegis. So this is like a little mini boss encounter. Interesting about this is because these guys have a mini boss flag set to them. Later on in the castle, if you run into knights, stonemen, and ninjas, you can't run from the battle because it has that flag set that it's a mini boss, not allowed to run from it. There's all the other enemies though we'll be running from because we need to really fight all these guys. All our stat and power increase are going to come from the equipment, mainly from the stuff we're going to find in the next dungeon. Although we will find some good equipment in here in Castle Edo. Castle Edo is really large, but it doesn't have a lot of treasure in it. But the treasure it does have is really, really good. I'm going to get an all-group hitting agility weapon. We're going to get a Ninja Gauntlet, which gives that O weapon. We're going to want to have every single character have an O Gauntlet by the end of the game. We're going to get a Strength Sword, a Dragon Sword, which gives plus 26 strength. That'll go on PLNK. It'll eventually be replaced by Sun Swords, but until we get Sun Swords, we'll get one in the next dungeon, then one in the final dungeon. The Dragon Sword is a good placeholder. Do the outside of Castle Edo. We head out to the inside here. It gets a little bit bigger. And then if you talk with Taro, you can talk with your fifth party members or President B-Bun. He mentioned, he's like, Castle Edo is very large, get ready for a long walk. I think it'll be a quick walk for us, because like I said, we're not walking, we're running from everything. I think I get lucky and I don't encounter any, like, Ninja Stoneman Knight groups. So I don't need to do that fighting. A lot of these rooms you can skip, like I said, there's a big place, but not a lot of treasure. So we did skip a lot of rooms. That's an empty room over there to the left, so it's not an empty room over here to the right. I'm gonna go over here and grab the treasure. Now when I do that Honeywall's contingency hack, I will actually be skipping some treasures as I go through the game, because at the end when you get Dad back for the post-game stuff, the only way Dad can raise his stats is through potions. So you might want to save up some potions, like body potions like that, to give to Dad later on. In this game, we'll give those Hakate boots to Dad. Got a missile there. It's another gun weapon. It does a little less damage than its tank. Can't block attacks with the tank, but the good thing with the missile is it hits all the enemies on the screen. So if you have like 3 different groups, it'll hit every enemy in each of the 3 groups. So it's a good multi-damaging weapon. Laser only damages 1 enemy. So like say we fought like those 5 tarantulas, if we shot them with the laser, it wouldn't do damage to all the tarantulas, just do the damage to the first one in line. The laser, like I said, is still a good weapon because 1, it gives agility to the robots, and it shoots through shields. So it ignores, like if an enemy puts up a shell, uses a shield, you know, a regular shield, or a later enemy is going to be using the Aegis Magi. Spoiler, we will lose the Magi eventually. And The laser just pierces right through that defense. And it always does set damage, like around 300, 350 in that range, which is good. Actually, the speed runs, that's how, obviously they're not going to, you know, be boosting their characters. So at the end, they're mutant and human who they take with them. Basically, are just given lasers so they can contribute something until they get knocked out. This is the samurai bow. It's a agility-based weapon that hits an entire group, so it can wipe out a large group of enemies. So there we go, give it to 4 of them there. We're gonna find another one in the next dungeon, and then of course IG-8 will get that. So let's. Samurai bow is also an interesting case that it pierces through like defenses. Some special weapons are like that, like the Gungnir spear that we can get, the Excalibur sword that eventually you get. So the thing is, but for the most part, laser does, when we're fighting enemies like the shield, they also tend to have, you know, the O weapon. So they take half damage from that samurai bow. So laser tends to, like I said, ignores O weapon, ignores shields. And then just heal ourselves up here. We kind of got a tricky boss here. Magnate, he is Shogun's father. And he is basically the brains behind the Shogun. Because if you talk to people throughout the world, you basically, a lot of them say that, you know, Shogun doesn't seem like a very smart guy. So the bad thing is that even though Magnate looks like a human, I mean, he's the father of the Shogun who's a human, he doesn't do extra damage with that Yomas. Can't get a critical hit with it. Critical hits, like I said in the last episode, can, I made a mistake. I said that they don't do extra damage. You can do extra damage, but there's also that rare chance that they instantly kill an enemy that is weak to it. So, Tower just got knocked down. So once again, it's up to our robot, IG-8, to basically finish things off by himself. But because we helped out those other robots, they were able to contribute to the fight and allow basically the magnet to get down to the point where IG-8 could finish him off. And now we have finished off this world. There's 10 more magi to go. And they're nice, they walk us right to the entrance here. And speaking of right to the entrance, this next world, like I said, it's kind of an optional dungeon. As soon as you go into it, right at the entrance, you can grab the magi that you want and leave right away. I will not be doing that. We're going through the dungeon to get all that good equipment. The magi that you get here is really good. It's the Pegasus magi, and that allows you to warp around the world. Basically lets you go to any town that you've been to previously. There we go, got the Pegasus magi. That sprite just basically says, you know, hey, the magi's right here. I want to go into this dungeon. It's nasty. I remember as a kid playing this, and despite it be like, this dungeon is nasty, and I'd go through the dungeon, and I was like, this is a really small dungeon, because when you get to the second floor, it basically ends in a dead end, where you can walk through the wall. It's like Zelda, the second quest, where there are walls you can walk through, and you walk through a wall, and it opens up a whole bunch more of the dungeon. And I was like, wow, it's pretty interesting. So, yeah, great place to build up stats. Monsters are tough. Monsters are plentiful. If you are running a regular, like normal party, before you head to this world, before you actually do anything in the last world, the Edo World, you should probably buy a bunch of tents from Ichigoya. Tents serve as inns, just in the field here. Since we're running from all these battles, we don't really need tents. And I think you find 2 tents throughout the dungeon as you go through the dungeon. So of course you can use them, but if you're going to be fighting all these enemies, of course you're going to need more than 2 tents. So that's if you want to keep your progress. You can always use the Pegasus Magi to warp out of here if you do find yourself in a point where you're basically ran out of resources, need to heal, need to restock weapons. Well, that's usually not a problem. You're getting so many weapons. First floor here is mainly like potions. It's showing we got a bunch of potions. Got an ogre axe there. Good for raising strength. And then like the next floor is also a lot of potions. You get another cat claw. And then like the next 2 floors are mainly like gun type items. So MSE 6 is going to get a lot more equipment. And then you start getting the really good stuff like 5th floor and below. That's also where you start getting new monsters. Monsters that are there for in the final world. So if you're running a all monster party, there's no need to go through this dungeon to get any weapons because monsters can't use equipment. But if you want, you can go through to get to the bottom to get some access to some stronger monster meat. That could make the next boss a little easier. Next major boss. We got another god boss coming up. Our next boss. It's an interesting thing. It's actually Odin. You wouldn't know who Odin is unless you're actually losing a battle beforehand. Because you'll never talk with Odin unless you lose a battle. And you do that little deal with him that, you know, he'll revive you as long as you promise to fight him. Yeah, if you just never lose a battle, you just go up to him, talk with him. He doesn't even say anything, you just get into an instant battle with him. The funny thing is, like, you can go up, you can fight Odin, you can lose to Odin, and then you reappear in Odin's room and you're like, where am I? It's like, you're in the room that you just died in. And yeah, so it's really weird, like, you can lose to Odin, Odin revives you, and he'll keep reviving you until you kill him. He's really literally a death seeker. But that, of course, is his motivation for fighting you. You know, if you do lose a battle to him, you get dialogue before the battle and after the battle with him, which he says, you know, he's old and, you know, he's done everything there is to life, and his last wish was to fight, you know, the greatest warriors, which turns out to be us. Vulcan cannon. That's like a super duper submachine gun. It has the same animation as the submachine gun. Obviously does more damage. It's roughly on par with the tank in terms of damage, but the tank doesn't, but the Vulcan doesn't block attacks like the tank. I'm going to save these body and magic potions. They will go to Dad. Spoiler, Dad is still alive, and he's going to become our 5th party member in the future. I'm also saying there's Hokate boots for him. We really want to boost. It's important that Dad survives a battle that he's in, and it's important that in that battle to make our survivability easier on him, that he has more hit points, and that he has as much magic as possible. But that will be in a few episodes. We got basically like 3 episodes. The next episode, which will start basically here on this next floor, we'll go through the rest of this dungeon. I'll speed it up a little bit to make it go faster, but that's what we'll be in the next episode, finishing this dungeon. Take care, have a good one. Bye.